I've been working at it a lot, and in the last 2 months, I've really sensed myself growing. This is a chat about mental health, where I'm at currently, committing to the processes, the habits, and rituals that you find work for yourself long term to maintain a healthy mindset and good relationship with yourself. That's what it's about. I always got ahead of myself and wanted to accomplish all of these things, but I realized that I couldn't do any of those, and I can't truly be kind and helpful to everyone else without starting from home base first. To stop comparing myself and feeling like I don't want to be me. I want to emerge as the main character in my narrative, to not treat myself with so much anger and rage, like, why are you like this? What's wrong with you? And changing that into, what has happened to me? Why do I do or feel the things I do? And what can I do about that? It's not really a recipe to guarantee you a happy and pain-free life, for I have realized a pain-free life is impossible. There will always be unpredictable ups and downs. It's about building resiliency and adaptability that is more important than the amount of time in your life spent happy. Happiness is an emotion. It will pass like sadness. It's not about arriving. It's instead the feeling of presentness and appreciation for myself that I'm really trying to work on. Half the time I realize I don't even know what it is I want out of life or what I'm chasing after. That's okay though. It's a learning process, and half the time I'm just learning what I don't want, and that's still good. You know, I've moved out here, I've tried to be independent, live on my own, and take up new hobbies, started therapy again. I want to share a little bit about my experience using online therapy as well. A couple of months ago, I started BetterHelp on my own. I'm able to work with them in this video, it means so much to me. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. It's gonna be my 3rd month on this platform. I'm making progress, and it's encouraging to see that. So, how do I embrace who I am as an individual and learn to love myself? Comparison freaking kills. It breeds discontent, and I'm always stuck in the comparison trap. Now that we're always on the internet, and it's really easy to assume how other people's lives are when you truly can't fathom another human's whole life or whole story the way you know your own. There's no point in seeking comfort through comparison. Wanting what you have is a superpower in itself. I just don't want to view everybody else in this space as competition, but rather community, especially if it comes to jealousy. I used to feel like it's such an ugly trait, and I was ashamed of being envious of other people. The moment I changed my perspective that jealousy is a tool to make me find out what I want, it will help me further dissect, why do I want something? Because if I want to be really good at art just so I can be admired or get more popularity, I realized that that desire is actually the inner child in me that felt like I was never good enough growing up and constantly needs that sense of safety. So how in a healthy sense could I give myself that need for validation and safety? Why am I dishonoring myself and all of the hard work I put into getting to where I am? You don't have to be like somebody else in order to feel good, feel valid, and feel deserving. You are equipped with all of your memories and experiences in a combination that no one else has, just you. Something that I try to live by now is exploration over comparison. To stop living by like a yardstick and instead put your time and energy into finding what brings you joy through exploration, being curious about the world. And as an artist, instead of feeling like other people are so much better than me and my art is just not living up to what I define as good art, that is just pure overthinking. There's nothing like the flow of just making and discovering and being in that zone with art that's like not even self-conscious at all, like about my place in the world. Instead, it's just being so present. I thought it takes me being the most optimal person in order to love myself. So if I could just zap away all of the things that's wrong with me, then I would be like the perfect person. That's just not possible because we are human beings. Error is a part of us. It is a part of our identity. And I'm embracing that error. I'm embracing the messed upness and and also the greatness that sometimes accidents and really, really hard lessons can produce. I'm not trapped in the past anymore. I'm not trapped in the anxiety of the future and what I don't know. I try to forget what other people want me to be, what people think I am, who I think I should be, and I just realized like me in the present, that is the only person who really exists. And I acknowledge my past and my history that has made me this way, but that person is also gone. Every fleeting moment, I don't have to be that person. I don't have to respond to that person anymore. I can just learn from them. Before I go on, I want to talk about therapy. As you know, I've probably seemed to be doing better and happier. A lot of people have been noticing that, and I'm just learning to be okay being myself again and like finding that inner child within me. I've been telling myself for like 2 years I need to start therapy again. Therapy is not new to me because in elementary school my mom sent us to a pediatrics doctor. I didn't react the way that like I guess a normal kid will show sadness, so they thought I was perfectly fine. And in high school, a lot of the insecurities and all of like the traumas sort of manifested. And I went back. I had weekly sessions at the time as well as group therapy. But then I stopped it because at the time, my approach to mental health was like, oh, I'm fine now. I feel happy now. So I think I'm okay. I don't really have to think about working at this ever again. That didn't work because before I knew it, the monsters kind of came knocking again. And that's kind of when I realized it's not about constructing this illusion of this happy girl that I want to be. It's so hard. For one, finding the right counselor is really hard. In college, that's kind of why I gave up on therapy, because the insurance provided therapists felt very impersonal and I couldn't choose. I couldn't also afford any of the local places I was looking at. It would be like almost $200 for one session. I just thought that's not an option for me right now, like professional help. So that's why BetterHelp is really an amazing option. It is professional counseling, right? But it's more affordable than traditional therapy. And you can also get financial aid. You can find out how much it's going to cost in the simple sign-up process. It's not like some quote that you have to wait back on or like application or anything. And you'll get a match within 48 hours. It normally happens sooner. For me, it only took 2 hours. When I got matched with my current counselor, she got to see the bio that I wrote because there's short answer portions. Her specialization was really fitting for my needs. And that's like recreational therapy as well as grief counseling. You can also message them any time of day. If I'm having such a hard time and spiraling, I reach out to her and she'll respond as soon as she sees it. When we might not have an appointment, she'll send me an inspirational quote to start the week and say like, have a great week, I'll see you soon. And that's just so personal and very caring, and I appreciate her so much. You can get started right away. Visit the link here in my description. You can get 10% off your first month as well with the link betterhelp.com/Annabelle. So thank you again for the sponsorship, and I will keep you updated on how I'm doing. The rest of my notes, I just wanted to touch on how I felt like I was always falling short and struggling with the need for other people to give me validation because I have a people-pleasing tendency. So drawing boundaries is really crucial. I didn't really understand boundaries all my life and I felt guilty for drawing them, and now I realize how necessary they are. Sometimes I would overstep others' boundaries because I think I know what's best for them and I want them to get better so bad. A lot of things aren't in your control, and as much as you can love somebody and want to fix their problems or like improve their lives for them, you can't sometimes, and vice versa. I'm so sorry for the bad audio quality for a little bit there. I realized my microphone was off. I don't want to always focus on the pain and the loss. And it's really easy to do that because that emotion is so destructive. And like a really big breakthrough I had in therapy, I just wanted to share lastly, is like dealing with my stepdad's illness. It's not easy, but I don't want to spend so much of my time feeling the pain of what the illness has taken from him and from our family, but instead I am thinking about all of the good and the beautiful things that my dad has brought into my life and how much I'm learning from them. My ability to appreciate the little things in life, so much of that you can give credit to my stepdad. When I was little, he took us out on what he'll call like girls' day out, and we would get Sprite at lunch, and my mom was always against us drinking soda and also spending too much money on a beverage rather than tap water. And he was like, hey, like you gotta treat yourselves once in a while. And I'm learning to do that. So he's really taught us the joy of play, the experience of that love from him I want to forever like have, and that will overpower the pain and the grief. At the moment, I just wanted to tell you where I'm at, maybe offer my perspective, and like have a little chit chat and check in. So I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for listening to my story and sharing your day with me. I love you. Bam Bam, you want to say goodbye? Say goodbye to everyone? Until next time. Sometimes I feel like I got a war on my mind. I wanna get off, but I keep riding the ride. I never